It's a challenge to be humble. Others say, I don't have any friends. I really don't feel I have friends. That's not a problem. The challenge is to get involved in a place, in a church like this, where we offer all kinds of opportunities for you to meet the people who are the salt of the earth. Of the earth. Somebody else says, my problem is I'm too old, I don't have an education, it's too late for me. That's no problem. It's just a challenge to turn your life over to Jesus Christ and let him do what he can with the rest of your life. Out of the desert shall flow streams of water. Do you know what? Jesus said that when he said, drink of my life, spirit, and out of your heart shall flow rivers of living water. Why, some of your hearts here this morning are like deserts. My heart, it's like a garden. My heart, it's like an orange grove. My heart, it's like a vineyard. My heart, wow. Your heart, it may be like a desert. Well, the desert, the stream of water can come out of it, like it does out of me. You just let Jesus Christ come in and be your Lord. That's really that simple. You know, Dr. Griffin was a great Methodist minister, and I remember years ago he wrote about one of the little towns he lived in, and there was his church, a Methodist church. And he talked about this fellow who was getting along in years, and this man really became a Christian. And when he became a Christian, his life was so changed, everybody in town recognized it. He became, instead of being the punk of town, the nicest guy in town. And then when he stood up and prayed, Dr. Griffin said, when he prayed in church, everybody listened. Because they knew he wasn't selling anything. They knew he wasn't lying. They knew he wasn't a hypocrite. And they knew he was sincere. And he wasn't on an ego trip. So when he prayed, everybody listened. And he stumbled and used some bad grammar, but they were all moved by his prayers. He never did have much money. He lived in a tiny little house on a side street. But he was a friend to every man and every woman and young people. And people would go to his house, young and old, rich and poor. And Joe was like a pastor to everybody. Always encouraging, big guy. Then Dr. Griffin said, the day came when Joe died, very suddenly. News went through town, and shop after shop closed up and hung a sign, closed in memory of Joe. That's all they had, closed in memory of Joe. And Dr. Griffin said as he was planning the funeral, the first thing he got a call from the florist saying, you know, I was so discouraged and ready to give up my business until Joe kept at me, and if it wasn't for him, I'd have been bankrupt. I want to donate the flowers. And the chapel was just filled with flowers from the florist, all donated. And he got a call from a mortician, an undertaker from another town 15 miles away saying, I want to take care of the service, no charge. He said, I was a hopeless drunk till Joe got hold of me one time, and he got the grace of Jesus Christ in my life, and boy, I got saved, but good. I'd like to take care of Joe now, no charge. And Dr. Griffin said the largest funeral in town was about 200-300 people. Until Joe's funeral, there were over 1,000 people. They all loved Joe. Out of your heart can flow rivers of living water. Out of the desert, streams. Out of your problem, challenges. Wow. Thank you, Lord, for giving us challenges. Give us more. Amen.
I practiced in the city with a large firm for a very short period.
Yes.
And then left and came back to Westchester County and spent my entire professional life in Westchester County in the 9th Judicial District, some of that time in the state court. And last June, I went into the federal court, and I'm in Manhattan again.
Yes, but it was such an interesting progression. Now, what was the first one?
The first court?
First court, yes.
Well, after 12 years of practicing law,
Yes.
I went to the family court.
The family court in Westchester County?
In Westchester County.
I see.
Served there for 3 years.
Yes.
And then went on to the Westchester County Court.
Westchester County Court.
That's a court that tries criminal cases primarily.
Yes.
Spent 4 years in the county court.
In the county court.
And then was elected to the New York State Supreme Court.
Oh.
And I served there for approximately 7 years.
What an interesting career.
Well, it's been a lot of fun.
Chester
and Dutchess.
Boy, that's a big district, isn't it?
Well, it was a lot of fun traveling around the different courthouses.
You enjoyed that, yeah?
I did. I enjoyed it very much. You felt somewhat analogous to Abe Lincoln when he was a circuit
yeah,
rider.
when he was a circuit rider, right. And then you were appointed.
Well, then I received a telephone call from the president. It happened to be on my mother's birthday.
Really?
And he told me that he was going to nominate me to the federal bench, the district court.
Ooh.
And by coincidence, my mother was present in my chambers when I received the call. And he asked to speak with her and wished her a happy birthday.
Did
I thought
he
that
really?
was really nice.
President Ronald Reagan?
Yes, he did.
Isn't that
And
a
she
thrill?
instantly became a hit with the senior citizens in Pelham, where she lives.
I bet she did, right?
She did.
Oh, isn't that a thrill? So there you were, and here came a call from the president.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a big thrill. And your mom was a big hit with him, huh?
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, when's your mom's birthday? When was that?
Well, it was on January 18th, and it was a year ago,
Yeah.
this past January.
Oh, I bet she was thrilled.
She was.
I
She
bet
was
she was thrilled.
indeed.
Well, you know, my mom met Ronald Reagan.
Did she?
Yes, she did,
Where?
really. In Buffalo, New York. He came there, boys and girls, to run for president to get the Republican nomination, and it was the first time. It was, how did that go now? He ran for it, and then who won? Ford.
Well, that was the nomination, I think.
Yeah.
This was
that
in the primaries.
It was,
you're
it
talking
was
about.
that,
Mhm.
yeah. And then Ford got it, and then he came back again. Yeah. Oh, it's a thrill to meet the president, I tell you.
Or go over to the courthouse and watch some trials.
Oh.
I think that might at least familiarize you with what the practice of law may be like.
That's a good idea.
And, of course, a preparation, an academic preparation for any profession is important.
AT&T
Right after I got out of the Army, I went to work for AT&T.
Oh, you were in the Army for a while.
Right, and I started in the sales department.
You did?
Right, and while I was in the sales department, I decided to go to law school.
You did?
And in retrospect, it was a marvelous idea. It worked out very nicely for me.
What gave you the idea to go to law school?
Well, it's like the old Jimmy Stewart line. My father always wanted me to be a lawyer, and finally I decided that he was right. And you have to understand that we live in a very complex society, and no matter how good a product you have, no matter how good your science and technology is, you have to recognize that there are people outside your company, customers and regulatory commissions and Congress and courts that affect the future of your business. So external affairs is a department within AT&T that deals with the external environment so that we can be a successful company. I represent AT&T to people outside of the corporation, and I represent these people back to the corporation of AT&T. So it's a very interesting and exciting job, and it's a job that you come into work in the morning, and most of the time you don't know what's going to hit you that day.
Years old to go to London School of Economics, and my husband was also a student there. We fell in love, and I became a Christian through knowing my husband. I grew up in a traditional Chinese family of Confucius teachings and ancestor worship. And several universities on the East Coast, including Harvard University, have classes that my book is required reading. Most of them say, reading your book make us realize we must value freedom and democracy. I want this message to go to the young people of America so that they know how fortunate they are to have been born in this great nation.
But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
We must value freedom and democracy. I want this message to go to the young people of America so that they know how fortunate they are to have been born in this great nation.
But to do justly, I can do that. To love mercy, I can do that. And to walk humbly with your God, I can do that. Well, if I can perform adequately before my God, wow, then enormous relief comes to me in what people
A long time. This is Mr. Stephen Kaczynski, and he's Director of Advertising Services for Nestle Foods. Hi, Steve.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, good. How are you?
Fine.
Won't you just start out and tell the boys and girls what advertising services is?
Advertising Services for Nestle Foods is the department that's responsible for buying all the advertising time on television and in magazines and newspapers and on radio, and also the department's responsible for making the commercials that you see in these different media.
What a fascinating job. I bet you love it.
I certainly do.
Yes, and Nestle buys a lot of that, don't they?
We spend about $120 million a year on advertising.
Wow, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so fascinating. Steve, girls, the parts of your work that you love the best?
I think what I love the best about my job is the ability to solve problems. You'd be amazed how much day by day and every day a problem comes up with one brand or another. The one thing that I didn't mention before is that we have about 25 brands. So one way or another, someone's always in trouble and needs a little bit of relief.
Is Bob Hope?
Who took my horse?
I'm just a dartboard for him.
Thing? This is television. Bing is still waiting for Kraft Music Hall to come back.
Aren't we all? Hey, are we ready for the plugs? You want to say a few words? Go ahead.
Well, I thought Mr. Carson would be here, but I'll have to take what I got.
Jack Benny and I are doing the Birdman of Alcatraz.
What the hell was that for? Don't tell me my line. I'm just holding it, that's all.
You can hold it as long as you want. Well, I don't work till November.
It's my show.
Boy, don't I know.
Through no fault of mine, the operation was a success. Isn't that marvelous? You know, we doctors like to get them up on their feet in a hurry these days. Come on. Up, 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 up.
Let's go.
Hey, wait a minute. You're stealing my girl. What have you got to say for yourself?
Is a far, far better thing than I've ever done before.
Do you know me? Well, when I'm not blessing the masses, I'm not that easy to recognize. That's why I carry this. The Vatican Express card. It's internationally recognized wherever I need cash, honored in every bank in the world. The Vatican Express card. Don't leave Rome without it.
You know, Bob, frankly, I am getting just a little tired of all this sex symbol hype. I mean, I'm just an ordinary guy. I put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else.
Yeah, but you get to do it a lot more than the rest of us. We're the Happiness Boys. I'm Ernie.
And I'm confused because I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I got one eye and was looking the other way.
the personnel department, the advertising, public relations, public affairs, our quality process, as well as our relationship with a joint venture in Japan called Fuji Xerox.
Fuji Xerox.
Yeah. And then I became the manager of that particular department in 1967. Xerox was growing very, very rapidly, and we were hiring lots of people, so there were good opportunities for people who joined them then.
Yes.
First of all, I find working in business very, very exciting. I can honestly say, having worked now 28 years as a full-time employee, 3 with Ford and 25 with Xerox, that I've never had a dull, boring day. I've gotten mad sometimes, and I've been a little frustrated, but it's always exciting. There's always something different coming up, a different kind of problem that needs to be solved and analyzed. And the opportunities for self-satisfaction in terms of analyzing a problem, making a decision or making a recommendation, and then having that recommendation implemented. I often say to myself at the end of the day, boy, I wish I had the discipline to dictate one of the unusual things that happened to me during that day, a different kind of business problem, and it would be a best seller.
Board of Trustees at Marymount College in Tarrytown. Mr. Reed brings to the board capabilities in the areas of policy and strategic direction for advertising, public relations, public affairs, and personnel, for which he is responsible at Xerox. Mr.
Broad-based communications company. We have cable television companies. We have cable television networks like Showtime, Movie Channel, MTV, Nickelodeon.
Yes,
big ones. Big ones. We have 5 television stations. We have 9 radio stations.
Wow.
And we do a lot of programming, some of which you may have heard of, like stuff like The Cosby Show, Jake and the Fat Man, Frank's Place, Matlock.
Wow, big names. Now, when you say you do programming, what does that mean, Frank Biondi?
Well, what it means is we contract with writers and producers and develop programming, which we try to sell to network television.
Oh, then you started The Cosby Show.
Well, not really. There are two producers, Marcy Carsey and Tom Werner.
Yes.
Who got together with Bill Cosby.
Yes.
And they put together a concept, and they were working for us under what's called a development deal.
Oh, it's a development deal, and they were working for Viacom.
Right, as independent contractors.
Oh.
They're independent producers.
Oh.
And they sold the show to NBC, and the rest of it's somewhat history. Reflecting the people.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous to work in the entertainment business unless you're in love with the product.
That's true.
I mean, you really have to enjoy entertainment for what it really is, entertainment, whether it's television or cable or animation or features. I mean, if you're not in tune and it doesn't viscerally get to you, you really won't enjoy the business.
Well, it's so creative.
Well, it's not only creative, but it's exciting. I mean,
it's exciting.
It's fun. I mean, I think that's the nice part of it. You come to the office, and it's not that it doesn't have its trials and tribulations, and there are plenty of disagreements, and there are deals that have to be worked out, and there are deals that fall apart, and there are things you wish didn't happen. That happens in every enterprise. But the end product is really fun, what it's all about. Entertaining people, bringing a smile to your face, bringing a tear to your eye. I mean, that's what really makes the day nice.
Yes, I was a television news reporter for about 7 years in many markets. I started out after Columbia. My first reporting job on television was in Sacramento for the CBS affiliate.
Oh.
And then I
And you were a general assignment reporter? You covered everything?
Yes, I've covered Jerry Brown. At that time, he was the governor of California.
Yeah.
And I covered the Lynette Fromm story when President Ford was in Sacramento, and there was this attempt on his life. So I covered that and part of the trial. It's been quite exciting.
It was very exciting, yes, and big history. And from Sacramento, you went where?
Well, from Sacramento, I went to Chicago.
Chicago?
Yes, I worked for the ABC O&O station, owned and operated. And then, where did I go from there?
From there you went
to Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
CBS.
Yeah, the WCAU TV.
That's right.
It's another O&O. Own and operated.
You know your stuff.
Thank you. And were you a reporter there in Philly?
Yes, I was there for over 2 years, and then I came to New York as a television news reporter, worked a bit at Channel 5, and then for Cable News Network in the New York Bureau.
That interesting. That's fascinating work, isn't it?
It is. I think the best part about being a reporter is dealing with people.
Really?
Yes, and learning, because when you deal with people, you get to know about different things, and it enriches your life.
Sure it does. My goodness, here she was a reporter for CNN.
That's right. Yeah. And then after CNN, I started teaching. Teaching now at Columbia, and I teach many things. I teach reporting and writing. I'm sharing what I've learned in the field with students today, and I also teach broadcast journalism here as well.
You're lucky to have her, I think, with all that experience. Joanne, tell me about some of the stories that you covered when you worked for CNN, the New York Bureau.
I covered the Shah of Iran. At that time, and so we staked that out for a while. That was exciting. A story that was also very exciting, but of course a sad story, was the shooting of John Lennon.
Yeah.
And that, again, was a national story. And that story went on for a long time.
Yes, it surely did. Yeah. Boy, you covered some big ones. Is it hard to be a reporter? I mean, like CNN, they're on the air all the time,
Yes.
24 hours a day, so are you up 24 hours a day?
No. I don't even think Ted Turner's up 24 hours a day. I think that today, being a reporter is a very exciting and wonderful thing to be. And it's a lot of hard work, but it's also a lot of fun. So think about it. You know, there are a lot of things to do in television news, not just a reporter. You could be a producer, you can be a cameraman, a sound person, you can run the news department if you like. So there are a lot of things. I know you do, and you do them well.
Listen, Joanne Lee, assistant professor, journalism, graduate school, Columbia University. We thank you for being on Chat with Glendora.
Thank you.
Bye now, Joanne.
Bye.
General Foods in Rybrook, New York. We're waiting to interview Mr. Ferguson of the waiting area. And out here are the fountains. To wait for Mother Goose. Mother Goose, and she had 5 babies, and Father Goose was there, and also the mother-in-law. And that was straight down the driveway, and I can show you where that is around the curve.
Message? No, I'm not. She's the floor.
4th floor. And you're inside the building. What floor? The 1st or the 2nd? On this once more time. Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael.
She's not in today. She is out of the office all day at a training course.
Now you could start a similar career. Hi, Mr. Ferguson.
Glendora, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you today?
Alive and well.
Now, Mr. Ferguson, would you kindly tell the boys and girls what your work consists of?
Well, I'm chairman of the executive committee of General Foods Corporation. Until about a year ago, I was chief executive officer
Yes.
of Foods. And I have sort of a senior advisory capacity now.
Oh, New York?
New York,
Oh,
right.
that's a wonderful college.
You bet.
You betcha it is. I can almost tell you the little tiny town that it's in.
Clinton.
Clinton. Because we have a brother-in-law who lives there, and I always figured
yeah.
Clinton.
I spent the next 10 years doing that sort of thing.
What brands did you manage?
Well, I managed Gleam toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
And I managed Lilt, Old
Yeah.
Permanent.
Those are very famous products.
Procter & Gamble went into the paper business.
Yes.
Charmin tissue.
Yes.
Puffs.
Yes.
And just about then I left.
All of the products that he managed were celebrities. You got celebrity products there.
Sure.
They're all very, very famous
Sure.
products.
And then I came to General Foods after that.
What did you do at the advertising agency?
I was an account executive.
Uh-huh. similarly what you did at
That's right.
P&G.
That's right.
In Birdseye. And
Right.
then where'd you go?
Well, I went into another division, the Jello division,
Uh-huh.
and then I came back to the Birdseye division as general manager.
Yes.
And then I had a series of jobs after that as a group officer, executive vice president, and so forth.
Okay.
At one point I did, right?
See, what I'm trying to do is cover what General Foods makes
Oh, yeah,
for everybody
it
else.
takes a long time.
And what else have I left out?
Well, after I was in those jobs, when I was chief executive, actually, we acquired Oscar Mayer
Yes.
and Entenmann's
Uh-huh.
and Ronzoni.
Enterman.
Any career, the first thing that excites you is when you get offered that first job. And that was exciting. Know that what they want and what you want are the same thing. Have a mutual dedication to an objective.
That's right, you're both on the same side, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then to be a good leader, how does a youngster get a little bit of experience in how to be a good leader?
Well, I think that being a good leader basically means having the self-assurance to outline an objective, find out where you want to go, and then make it clear to those around you what it is that you think is important, and get them to agree with you. Exciting era that we're heading into, and I think it's a great time to start a career. I envy the people who are going to do it.
Because you'd like to do it all over again.
Right.
The window, you're looking out of the window of the office where you met Mr. Ferguson, where he just sat down and told you all that good advice. And here's another fountain. And here's more of the ever beautiful Westchester hills and trees. Again, you're at General Foods, and this is a chat with Glendora. And you've just met the chairman of the executive committee of the General Foods Corporation.